You're listening to the Battle Ready podcast. My name is Aaron McManus, and I'm here with my dad, Erwin Raphael McManus.
It's good to be here today.
It's a good day, huh?
It is. It's right after the wake of Easter.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
We finally had a little bit of time to sleep, but I find myself, I can't sleep in after Easter.
No, I couldn't sleep at
Too
all.
excited.
I'm just so excited about the day and just the thousands of people who came to Mosaic and just watching all the families and the moms and dads and kids, all the it's just really beautiful to watch people come together. It was a beautiful, beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Feels good to be back together because this is the first Easter that we've had in person since COVID.
In 2 years.
2 years. It's pretty crazy. This week was also Coachella in LA. So
the streets are empty in LA.
Streets are empty. For most people in the world, that doesn't matter. But this weekend we had 2 Dodger games, Coachella and something else.
Oh, NBA playoffs.
And the NBA playoffs started.
Yeah, because on Good Friday, the Clippers were losing and were eliminated from the playoffs, but that was still on Good Friday. There were so many things competing with
Easter.
Yeah, with the most important weekend of the year if you're a follower of Christ. But the streets were empty. Well, no, Catholics are followers of Christ.
No, but usually you say that about Christians and Catholics different. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right. And
want the Catholics to feel represented here.
Yeah, and
No.
and I lost my track, but I was going to
Okay.
say the streets were empty, but the church was full.
Okay. I did go to a Dodger game on Thursday night. I don't know why we bought tickets for that night. That did not make sense. We had so many things going on this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was an absolutely miserable experience getting into that arena, that stadium. It was insane. It took us an hour. To get in, which it should only take us 25 minutes.
Mm.
Normally, max, it takes 30 minutes. It took us an hour. And then once we got in, we were only in there for an hour because it was the top of the bottom of the fifth.
So you sat in traffic so long you missed the first 5 innings.
Yes.
So you got to pay to.
And we left for the stadium at 6:30. Got there at 6:30. Got there at 7. So we were in the stadium, and then it took us another 45 minutes. We were going around the stadium, and at one point, one of the parking assistants looked at us and said, "Welcome to Howard." And I just thought that was ironic. Great customer service, Dodger Stadium.
Wow, that makes me want to go see a baseball game.
Yeah.
Wow, you know who really does it right?
Who?
The Cubs in Chicago.
Yeah, because you don't drive, you walk.
You just walk right to the
I
stadium.
know.
That was pretty sweet. I got to do
That is
that.
sweet.
We got to do that one time. That was so nice.
It's Fenway? Wrigley.
Wrigley.
Wrigley. My bad.
Okay.
Just
Well,
kidding. Apologize to all of Chicago.
Novice in the baseball world.
So Easter was fun. I am a novice in the baseball world. I don't know much about baseball. I like it sometimes.
Mhm.
I swore I'll never go back to a Dodger Stadium game ever again.
But you will.
I don't know. I'm debated.
Mm.
I went to the Coliseum with you, and what did I say to you the last time I went to the Coliseum?
You said you're never going to go see a pro football game ever again.
No, I said I'm never coming to the Coliseum ever again. I'll wait till they build that new stadium.
Your list is getting
and it's
long.
been 3 years later, and I finally went to SoFi for the first time this year
Mhm.
because absolutely not. I was never going to the Coliseum.
And
I'll
you
never
had
go.
a great experience in SoFi.
Because geniuses built SoFi.
Mhm.
So whatever.
Well, Dodger Stadium was built before they knew that millions and millions of people were going to live here and drive cars. And
Okay, so we have some things to talk about today. Something really special happened last week. Was it Thursday that we went downtown?
well, what happened was, if want to go back to the first domino, is that I saw a friend of mine in church actually a week ago Sunday. Jerry Lorenzo and his wife Daz were there, and he said, "Hey, I'd love to get together and have lunch or have a talk." And so I said, "Oh, let's do it." So then I had the opportunity to go up, and we met and at his place and just hung out, had a great morning together. And one of the things I get to do in my life is I get to be a sounding board and kind of a coach and mentor to people who really make a difference in the world. And I just love being a part of that process with them. And then I think it was kind of on the whim or on the fly, he said, "Hey, what are you going to wear for Easter on Sunday?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. And I'm not sure yet. I've been out looking, but I haven't didn't buy anything yet. And he said, come by. We have a new line coming out, new collection coming out. And I think that we only have like the one, whatever is it called, a sample or, that we used so that stores can come in and see it and make their purchases. But I think it'll fit you. And I said, there's no way it's going to fit me, because I figured it was going to be that perfect size, for the skinnier male. And he goes, no, I think it'll fit you. And then he said, and then his dad said, it's oversized. He goes, no, it's generous. Well, I need a lot of generosity whenever I wear something. So he goes, come over. And so then I let it go. And then I think he texted me on Thursday morning. He said, hey, are you going to come by? So I said, yeah, I'll come by. And so you went with me. We went downtown.
Yeah. I offered. I was like, can I drive with you, please? I want to go.
And I just thought there's a 1 in a million chance that anything that he has is going to actually fit me. And so then they're finishing up their staff meeting, which was so very cool to watch them just creating and dreaming and working and designing. And then they started pulling out things from the racks and saying, this collection doesn't come out till end of the year or something like that.
Fall 22.
Yeah. And he goes, well, we have, all of this here. And so let's see if it fits. And he pulls out some things and everything fit me perfectly. I was actually really shocked.
Yeah.
And so I was really excited. And he goes, I can't let you have this. I can't even I can't let you buy it for certain, but I can't let you have it because it's all I have. So you have to bring it back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I dropped it off yesterday.
First thing like a Monday.
Everyone else got a day off. And I was like, okay, I got to wake up and go get it.
Because we have to have it here for all the buyers who are coming in.
Yeah. Because they're dressing people. They're selling it wholesale season, which essentially gets to all the stores. It was cool. It was a cool experience to go down there and see it all.
Now, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to be wearing something that doesn't even come out. I'm going to, for months and months and months, I'm going to be wearing the future.
Yeah.
And then we discovered that this new collection is called Eternal.
Right.
And I thought, what a beautiful name. And I look for things in life that have synchronicity and where they seem to be disconnected experiences that somehow come together. And I thought, this is amazing. It's Easter weekend. I'm going to be talking about the eternal. I'm going to be talking about how Jesus crashes time and space with the eternal. And I might actually be wearing a collection called Eternal, which I thought was pretty beautiful. And so he graciously let me take some clothes and to wear for Sunday. And he seemed genuinely excited about it too.
Right. And you were excited.
I was excited. I was like a kid in a candy store.
I only snuck 3 photos because I was nervous. I was nervous. And I didn't want to get kicked out. Not that he would kick us out, but you're in someone's creative space and there was, there's on one of the photos, there's designs in the background. I'm like, I'm not going to post that. But it was cool to have.
Yeah.
And it's obviously protected. It's just for me and for you. But it was so cool. And some of your faces in the moments, you're like,
yeah, it was just
this suit.
Because
it was so exciting.
We also design and we have our own brand and things. But I mean, fear of God is just it's so elevated at a whole different level.
It is. I think to us, especially in modern times, it is the modern Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren, however you say it. It is the modern version. There is someone in our lifetime taking so much ground in the fashion industry and so much innovation. And it's from LA and it's in our backyard. And so it feels special.
Yeah. And even though I didn't grow up in church, I didn't grow up in faith. One of the things I did learn when I came to faith was they always tell me on Easter, you wear like your Sunday best. And so I thought, this is kind of awesome to be wearing something that's this elegant, this beautiful on Easter. And I never wear a suit. And yet.
You wear a suit sometimes on Easter?
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, no, on Easter I do, except it's on regular Sundays. I pretty much never wear a suit.
No.
But Easter, I try to dress up. And also I know there's people coming and they're wearing their best. They're coming and they're really treating this day as a very special, beautiful celebration of life. And so I was excited to wear it and never mentioned it when I was speaking, obviously, right? But I really felt, it's hard to explain how, even though nobody knew that I was wearing this collection called Eternal, and I knew I was trying to convince everyone in the room that we are not temporal creatures, but we are designed for the eternal. It felt transcendent to me. It felt like this intersection of this beautiful moment. And it was also just a real privilege. And And so then on Monday, I decide to post.
You posted a photo.
I posted. They sent me some photos, and I thought, oh, these are really, really cool. And so I posted a photo, and I mean, when you think about like what do you post on Instagram, I was posting my story, and a part of what I do is bring people into my life, my experience, and the things that even at times surprise me and bring me unexpected joy. And I also just felt really grateful to Jerry, who allowed me to wear something that is still really protected, and I consider it in that sense really, really special, and allowed me to wear it on Easter Sunday. And so I posted a couple of things that I said from the message.
Do you want to read the post?
Yeah, why don't you read the post?
I'll read the post. Okay, you posted this one day ago. Easter Sunday at Mosaic in all caps, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then right below it, you posted eternal. And then right below it, you quoted yourself. The reason temporary things do not satisfy your soul is that you were created for the eternal. Period. End quote. Second quote. When Jesus rose from the dead, he created a tear in the universe, invading time and space with the eternal. What an amazing Easter Sunday at Mosaic yesterday. I couldn't sleep all night just reflecting on the day. A special thank you to my friend and brother, Jerry Lorenzo, for the Easter threads. There is something transcendent about beauty and elegance. May every piece in your upcoming eternal collection point to the eternal one. Jesus, he is written. Sorry, Jesus, he is risen. He is written and he's risen. I don't know. I mean, you have like a ton of likes and you have a couple hundred comments.
But,
what?
Oh, I was going to say, but then, it kind of took a different turn later that day.
It did take a different turn. Well, you posted this? Yeah, there you go. And it took a different turn. Someone screenshotted it, posted your photo and your comment or your post caption and said, I don't know, like
this is the problem with celebrity pastors.
Right.
The contradiction.
Yeah.
And it was an attack on me. And
it was.
From somebody I don't know.
Well, can we break it down? Is that considered an attack, Brooke? Because I think now they're trying to change the narrative that it wasn't an attack.
It was definitely intended to
be hurtful.
To be hurtful and to damage Pastor Irwin's reputation.
Yeah.
Or to say he'd done something wrong.
Right. And I wouldn't have even known except the person who posted it tagged me and sent it to my DM.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this person is making a statement about me, which I'm not assuming that. I'm seeing that. And they want me to know they're making the statement about me.
Does she post a lot of things like that, Brooke?
I couldn't see that she'd posted anything else like that about any other Christian pastor, speaker, anything.
So it was just me.
Just you.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
When I read it, I have to admit, like it hurt. Like, I mean, I was just like, wow, I can't do anything without having somebody find a way to attack me. I mean, and I'm like, this has been my whole experience
inside the church.
And
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why being public in the Christian world has always been something that I've been reticent about. And because you can spin anything and make it look so bad. Right. And by the way, I guess the accusation is, here I am, a pastor wearing luxury clothes, but that entire outfit, I mean, if you don't count the boxers, which I paid for myself.
Oh, you bought them. Yeah.
And
those were also probably fear of God as well.
But that entire outfit cost me $0.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at someone who's abusing or misusing funds, I'm like, you should be celebrating me because, I spent nothing on my Easter clothes. But I will say this.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Brooke.
Yes.
Do you feel like that was the main attack? Because I feel like a bit of it was the clothes. The clothes made them feel uncomfortable. It felt like the post was what made them feel uncomfortable. The caption that you were. At least from what I understand, it felt like there was a lot of, you're selling an ad. This is an ad for a clothing brand, and you're talking about Easter.
Yeah.
And the collision of the two, people, it really unsettled people.
Sure. Yeah, and that I'll say, I could see that, although it wasn't anywhere near my mind. Like, that wasn't what I was posting. I wasn't trying to sell something or anything like that.
Right.
I was actually expressing gratitude and thanking Jerry. Jerry doesn't need my help. And
He has 1.7 million followers, and that's not even including Fear of God's own account, which I don't know if you actually you tagged Fear of God, but you didn't mention.
And the
caption.
irony is that none of that's for sale right now at all.
Yeah, you can't buy it.
You can't buy
That's
it.
how
so-
expensive it is.
Yeah, no, it just isn't out. So I wasn't even thinking about that. It's not like people can go and buy the stuff. And, but I actually just wanted to thank Jerry, and because I just felt grateful. And two, I thought that there was such an interesting serendipitous kind of beauty to wearing a collection that he is using to express his faith and spirituality called Eternal on a Sunday that is the most significant Sunday where Jesus disrupts the now with the eternal. And so I guess I just thought, for everyone who can see it, like if you want to see the things that somehow, if you use the language of the universe, how the universe brings things together that you could never do.
Right.
Right. Because I couldn't have orchestrated this the way it happened. I mean, we just happened to see each other. Then I happened to, give him some feet, just tried to be a sounding board for him. And then he offers, hey, do you want to come wear this stuff? And then it happens to fit me perfectly. And it happens to be called Eternal. And it happens to be Easter.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but also like behind the scenes, no one would know that you've been working really hard to get fit. Like I've seen it behind the scenes, and I want to celebrate it because you've been working really hard
Woo-woo.
to like work out 3 times a week,
to get healthy,
to get your steps in, to eat healthy,
Meal
to
prepping.
meal prepping.
Yeah.
Like shout out Icon Foods
Yeah, I'm
for
gonna say,
keeping us alive right now.
Icon Foods. If I'm going to get attacked for like sending out shout outs to sponsors,
Go buy Icon Foods.
We don't have a sponsor, by the way, but Icon Foods is, I've tried other pet foods and they're so terrible, I've thrown them away.
Yeah, this is literally not an ad. Full disclosure, I think we might have invested in it. But full disclosure, it keeps me alive. It's the only thing in my refrigerator.
So it's been great. And, but this wasn't that.
This wasn't that.
I have, I wish I had stock in Fear of God. I have no stock in Fear of God.
Let us buy in, my man. We would.
And the funny thing, and in some odd way, he's our competitor because we make clothes. So
he's not our competitor. He's like, he has become like the godfather of initially, what I love about Jerry and what I love about, I'll call him Mr. Lorenzo and Fear of God is that he has elevated multiple demographics and price points continually.
Yeah.
Starting with Fear of God, watching the evolution over 7 seasons, and now with Eternal, and then 8th collection, I'm sure that will come out in the next 5 years. And then with Essentials and with Fog and these kind of different diffusions of the brand. And what I love about him is that a lot of these brands go to, in the background of fashion, you go to Target or you'll go to like a Walmart. So you kind of do these like, these mass collaborations to make money because so much in high luxury fashion, the money isn't really there. What I love about Jerry is he went, no, I'm not going to actually cheapen the quality. I'm actually going to make it better.
I'm going to keep elevating
the design, the quality, the intentionality of it. And I'm going to give you essentials. And then I'm going to give it to you at a price point that you can actually afford. And I understand that it's not affordable for everybody. Yeah. So I'm not trying to make a generalization, but a much more affordable price point. He is really leading the way in that regard.
Yeah.
Can I read his post? Because he also posted about you.
Okay.
Also,
and I just want to say that the reason I said competitor is because when people are saying you're trying to sell his stuff, I'm going, gosh, if I'm that strategic, I should be trying to sell my stuff.
Yeah, and we thought about that. We thought about making a suit from our own gallery and then being like, this is made by us.
But I didn't even wear anything that we make. I wore something that a friend made, and I wanted to celebrate it because it's extraordinary, it's beautiful, and he is shameless about his faith. The more successful he's become, the more open he's become about his faith.
It's so crazy.
All he does is talk about Jesus. All he does is talk about faith. All he does is talk about the eternal. And so if I'm going to promote anyone, I want to promote someone who's promoting Jesus.
So it's really interesting, right? Because for me, you can feel however you feel about the brand, but did the clothes evoke a specific emotion when you wore them? Did you feel something when you put it on?
Yeah, I did.
What? Could you describe that?
Yeah. One, it was strangely cozy and luxurious at the same time. It's like, the most important thing, I know it's ironic, I felt comfortable.
Huh.
Like I felt like it was in my own skin. I didn't feel like I was wearing something that someone else wanted me to wear. I was wearing something that was really natural to my personality, very natural to who I am as a person. And I think that to me, that's kind of like the goal, is to wear things where you're not thinking about what you're wearing, just thinking about being yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I felt an immense level of gratitude.
Right.
And because I actually, I know this is a hard concept, but I do think God wants us to enjoy life, and he does like bring beautiful things into our path. See, this is not contrary to my view of God.
Yeah.
I think God, in his graciousness, was celebrating that moment, and made it possible for me. I don't think we made that happen on our own. I think that God was in the middle of all that. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Did you feel joy?
I did. I felt joy, and I felt confidence.
Huh.
And because when you're wearing something that makes you feel really good about yourself, you do feel a sense of joy and happiness in that moment. But you also have a different sense of confidence, like because you know everything you wear is a statement of some kind, and it's a declaration of something. And but I didn't think that deeply about it. I was just going, this is just a beautiful moment.
It was just cool.
Yeah, it's just cool.
It was cool.
And
it was fun.
And I know it's hard for people to believe this, but sometimes you're just a human being living life. Yeah. And what I was sharing on Instagram was how grateful I was in that moment. And I thought the people who were a part of my life would also celebrate it with me.
Yeah. So Jerry posted. So Jerry hit me up yesterday and was like, "Hey, can you send the photos?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Let me send them." And Austin's team took a bunch of these, and he posted it 18 hours ago and said, "In the most unexpected of collaborations between friends, my man, Erwin McManus, delivered a powerful message this Easter Sunday on the Eternal. We had coffee earlier last week to catch up, and casually I offered to lend him a look from our latest collection for Sunday. Little did I know the look would inspire a transcendent yet timely message, a collection built with the intent to transcend age, gender, space, and time, and a message delivered with the same purpose. Tune into @Mosaic's platform tomorrow to catch the service. Love you, man. Thanks for being a friend." For me, that's so special. But then also, he posted a photo of himself because he did a New York Times thing this morning, New York Times fashion, which is really cool. And then he also posted Steph Curry in a similar suit from the Eternal collection. That was really cool too.
I saw
you
this.
were on the same line of Instagram as Steph Curry, and that is awesome.
So I'm kind of wondering, like when Steph Curry wears a Fear of God suit and starts draining threes, is that like a conflict of interest for him?
Well, but I do think, it seems like the primary attack or primary critique, and I've been having this kind of ideological conversation with a lot of people who've been hitting me up. I woke up to a lot of to DMs being like, "Hey, you're a douchebag. Hey, you're an a-hole. Hey, you're all these things. Go F yourself." I got a lot of these DMs. Ironically, from white women in their mid-40s with kids in the back of their profile photos who were all private. And it was very interesting. Almost zero men. One person did call me Mark Driscoll, but I said the difference between Mark Driscoll and I was that he used an alias, William Wallace, on blogs to talk trash about people. I use a pseudonym called Battle Ready Podcast, and it is so obvious that it's me. It follows me. I say it's me. I'm the only person in the stories. I said I was Batman. I thought I confused this man. I said I am the Batman.
And you drew it.
And my man got confused. He got lost. He got lost in his own sauce. Here's my thing. The argument was special. I posted a story sending people to her page. Then I got critiqued for saying that you sent your trolls to go attack her. I think what I said, because I took it all down, I deleted all my comments because for me in the moment, you're in the arena, it's fun. But it's not a historical artifact. I don't want this thing forever. So just delete it, let it go, have a conversation. The post did go from 40 to 500 comments.
Well, I think she accomplished No,
I accomplished what she tried to set out to accomplish.
Now it's over 600 comments.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what her intent was. I rarely do this, but I responded. I put a comment on her,
Yeah, you did.
and I only wished her the best.
Yeah.
And and I said, hey, I'm not a celebrity, because she was calling me a celebrity pastor,
But you kind of are. You're not a celebrity pastor, but you're kind of a celebrity.
yeah, but
Like, yeah.
and then I just hate the connotation. It's like the moment you call somebody that, you're just like trying to,
You
throw
feel like
dirt
it's a
on 'em.
degrading.
Yeah. But I also said, like, I absolutely love Jesus. And I think I don't know as a psychotherapist how you couldn't see that what you said was judgmental and hurtful. See, I want people to know, first of all, I have feelings.
Yes.
I feel hurt really deeply.
Yeah.
The day after Easter, I should have been celebrating and just enjoying, and I was really hurting and felt really sad.
Yeah.
And because I don't ever want to demean Jesus, I don't ever want to take away from the power of the message of Easter, the resurrection. I never want to discredit the role of being a pastor, and that's happened enough. And I felt very sad. I felt sad that I maybe
Took attention away from Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
My thing is this. Most of my friends didn't care about Easter. I'm going to be really honest. Most of my friends don't care about Easter. You know what they cared about? They cared about Coachella.
Yeah.
They cared about Coachella, and they were at Coachella. They even offered to fly me out to Coachella. I had tickets to Coachella. Do you know I would like to be wearing that floral shirt that I was wearing very open with my new muscles in front of Harry Styles, dancing away?
All right.
As it was? Are you kidding me? But no, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here celebrating
Yes.
the death and resurrection of Jesus. But I would also like to be enjoying Coachella.
But I want to say this because when this is the bigger issue for me. It's not about me.
Wait, hold on. I didn't finish my point.
Okay.
But the point of this is this.
Yeah.
This post made my friends who don't care. My friends who don't know God, my friends who know of God, who've come to Mosaic, who I am in dialogue every day, and they have been some of the greatest breath of fresh air, because I think sometimes we get stuck in this place, and I hear these comments, or I hear these people, or attacks or critiques, or however you want to call it, and my friends give me this breath of fresh air, going like, I told them what happened, and they started laughing, like, why is that a big deal? Why do you care? And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I just, the way I'm structured,
Yeah.
I would ask for forgiveness 1,000 times if I thought I did something that would diminish Jesus. Like, I'm just built that way, and what this person doesn't realize, what she opens, is you can't be Pandora and not be responsible for what comes out of the box when you open it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people love being Pandora, and they think that she sent it to me. She wanted me to know that she attacked me.
100%.
She wanted me to be hurt. She wanted me to feel shamed.
She wanted the numbers, whether she admits it or not. She wanted the numbers, and then she also. Well, hold on. She writes for the New York Times, right?
She's written op-eds for them, yes.
Okay, and then with that, she's like upcycling it to more New York Times authors, trying to get more people on this thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So my thing is this: is like, New York Times, which one are you? You like Fear of God and you don't like us, or you don't like Fear of God and you still don't like us?
Well, I think they
you
may
featured
like Fear of God
on the same day that your New York Times writers are featuring us trying to talk trash. But you can cancel me, sure, go for it. My time has probably come. I've canceled myself a number of times. It's why I'm not a pastor. It's why I have no interest in being one right now, and I understand that. But I can't do anything about the fact that you're my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I took Batman. There was too much Batman yesterday.
I want to read this because.
Which one do you want to read?
And I'm going to read a few of these.
But hold on. If you read them, she's going to say we're playing the victim card.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying is that I said to you last week, you can't bully me because I'm not a victim.
Right.
Yep.
I just want to be clear. You just need to be responsible for the momentum you create. And so this is one of many DMs I got. You are taking souls away from Christ and leading them to hell with your teachings, death to you. I got quite a few.
Tell me his name.
No.
You can't, because it's private and it's a fake account, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's a ghost account. You're a coward and you're garbage.
Yeah. False prophet, heresy, devil. Your heresies will send you to the depth of hell. Shame on you. Death to you.
Tag me and come at me. I'll give you my number. I'll give you my address and let's meet there. You want to
Batman's
talk
back.
trash or you want to solve it?
Aaron.
Don't go down with them.
I'm
And,
not going down, but
no,
hey,
here's the thing. This is not new. 20 years ago, I had Christians who had websites where they said they were going to kill me. And throughout my life, the most threatening, violent, unkind people have been people who call themselves Christians. And it's one of the reasons it's been always this tense relationship for me. And because I'm stuck because I believe in Jesus with every fiber of my being. And I believe in the beauty of Mosaic and what God has created here. But I hate this Christian culture where you find some kind of pleasure in destroying other people.
Yeah.
It's dark and it's unhealthy. And so when I wake up to a bunch of DMs going, death to you, I'm like, do you understand what we're doing to each other? So in my hurt, I could have responded to her in a very aggressive and antagonistic way, but I didn't. I responded to her and I hoped and prayed the best for her. Because see, I don't want whatever's fueling her heart to be in my heart. See, I don't want whatever's fueling these people to fuel me. And I think that's the bigger conversation is what kind of world are you creating by the choices you're making, the words that you're saying. And if you've got inner struggles, don't project them on everyone else. I am not the person who hurt you.
Ooh.
And it's funny, I'm looking like, I've been a follower of Jesus now for 43 years, since I was 20 years old. I'm 63 now. I've been married to the same woman for 38 years. I've always been faithful to my wife, Kim. We've been best friends for nearly 40 years. I've been here in the same city for 30 years. And the people here know me. You and Mariah, my kids, know me inside and out. I don't know what you're supposed to do with your life so that strangers don't find pleasure in trying to destroy you. And I don't know what it is that's so dark. See, I could understand this if a person didn't believe in God or they didn't believe in Jesus or just didn't have God's Spirit living in them. But this is obviously the people who believe in God, believe in Jesus, have God's Spirit in them. Why is there so much vitriol and hate and envy and jealousy? Because when you get upset at something like this, you're like, you're showing your own unhappiness.
So the same applies for me.
Yeah.
Because then I posted a story.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done this, I think, almost not every time we get criticized, but when anything specific that I feel like is an interesting topic of conversation, I often say the podcast isn't just me and you, it's everyone who follows along. And so they're a part of the conversation, they're part of the community. This is a special thing we're building. And I am really grateful for people like Quitters Club, Jensen JPEG, like these pseudonyms and these people who I've become friends with over the last few years during COVID on Instagram because they support and they build into. And, I posted, I have to go to a workout, do what you will. I did say, be nice, even though I wasn't nice, which people have said I'm hypocritical for. I am the catcher in the rye. I am the biggest hypocrite you've ever met. I've made so many mistakes in my life. You literally can't cancel you, but you can cancel me. When you do, we'll get the best autobiography in the world, and I'll tell you everything I've ever done wrong. And if you really want to talk about it, we can talk about it. It's not fun, but we'll do it, and we'll get down in the muck, and then I'll have a great relationship with my mom, and then it'll all get, you did that, okay, we'll talk about it. But it's because I think I used to live in this fear where, they go attack you and then I stand up for you and they start attacking me, start attacking my character, start looking for people I dated, start looking for drugs I did, start looking for all the moments in my life where I was bad, I remember I got caught at a party flipping off the camera and I faked being a lawyer, being, please take this down. My client is gonna, whatever. Like I was wild. I have moments of being wild. Like my journey of faith has been a roller coaster. It hasn't been this straight line up like SpaceX, you know? Mine has been the rockets that blow up. Like I get up and it's like, psh, and he's like, at least there wasn't anyone on there.
A little more North Korean, huh?
No, but it's like
the missiles that didn't make it.
I'm the easier target,
Mm-hmm.
but you're the nice one and the kind one and the elegant one. And I did comment this at one point because I deleted all my comments because like, it's a moment in time. And I said, he's not asking for our defense because he's built for kindness and positivity, and I'm built for chaos. And I say that acting tough, trying to be tough, trying to be the Stephen Colbert version of on Battle Ready.
And yet it hurts you so much.
And it hurts me so much because I'm texting you last night, eating my Icon meals in sadness on my couch.
You ate 3 of them. Are you
I ate
like
3 of them
stress
last
eating?
night. I wanted the cookies that were at your house, but it pains me because I walked in yesterday and I only had 30 minutes where I had to go to do my next thing, and I, you know, like the post and the criticism. I was sitting next to you and was like, hey, I only have 30 minutes. You're going to talk to me. And you're like, sorry, I was dealing with something online. And I was like, and I have access to all your things. I was like, all right, show me, where is it? I'm digging through DMs. I'm trying to find who you block, you know, whatever. And I find it. And then I was like, oh, interesting. And for me, you know, I didn't sick trolls on you. I did whether people agree with how I do things or not, she opened a forum on her page for a conversation.
But she did want the conversation.
She did.
She just wanted it to be one-sided.
She just wanted to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Which you find later because she starts controlling it again with like, they're attacking me and they've blocked their comments. No, you can comment. You just have to follow us.
Yeah,
And we don't.
And by the way, I didn't comment on you. I went to your site and I actually wished the best of you and said I considered what you said.
I did not. And I don't wish the best for her. I don't wish bad things for her. Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you. One of the people who DM'd me this morning is a witch.
Oh.
And is like, the full moon is bright, and starts saying all these things that are like spells. And I was like, wait, are you a witch? And she goes, yes. And she has footage of her family, footage of her husband, all these things. And she goes, I would like saying like, I'm gonna destroy your life.
Yeah, I had a witch send me a curse as well.
Yeah.
Where
right?
are these witches from?
DMs.
Yeah.
How often do you find a witch?
Well, like, usually at our 11 a.m. They got a lot of crystals in that place.
Yeah.
Not Austin St. John's wife crystal, but like actual rock crystals.
And this is why it's important to know. This is not a battle over fashion brands. This is actually a battle between darkness and light.
But maybe I was too dark yesterday.
You may have been. You can get pretty intense when you feel someone's attacking me.
Absolutely.
And but if you attack, don't cry wolf when someone attacks back.
Brooke, did I attack?
Attack her?
Did I attack her?
Attack is a difficult word.
No, be real. Be brutally honest.
Was he intense?
You were very intense.
But did I attack?
Did you say anything about her?
I don't want to say you attacked her. I think you attacked the post she put up.
I don't think I attacked her. I made fun of some cats. I might have used a clown emoji a few times. But that is a part of the character I play on the Battle Ready Instagram.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You were very congenial. You were having a great time.
I was
doing it.
Some people golf.
Some people what?
Some people golf. And I do that.
And you Batman.
Batman.
Some people golf, you Batman.
But I do want it to be a learning lesson. I want to elevate, and I think there's several like things here. One is I want to be. Some people said, "Oh, I always liked Erwin McManus until this," or maybe this Erwin is it's a faux pas. And I'm like, if you actually like me until I do something you don't like, I don't know if you really liked me. That's the problem with social media followership, right? You know.
Yeah.
And because I just want to assure you, I will do something that will offend you, or something that will upset you, or something that you're going to disagree with. And and the whole purpose of Battle Ready is to go, can you still be friends and have different positions, different perspectives, and then secondly, I want to say so clearly, I would never consciously do anything to diminish or demean who Jesus is, and the role of the church in the world, and I just want people to know that that's actually the pure motivation of my heart. But thirdly,
okay.
I am Erwin Raphael McManus.
Ooh, tell him.
and I'm not the same as everyone else. I am different.
Oh, I did say that one time. I said that
No.
in one of the DMs. Yeah.
Like
So we're not the same.
I know I'm eccentric.
Mm.
I'm esoteric. I'm not only out of the box, I've never found my box. And I'm always going to do things that people are going to think that pastors aren't supposed to do. I've started companies. I've worked as an artist, a designer, creator.
When you say I started companies, that's you saying I'm rich and I'm not going to apologize for it.
I work hard and I'm successful. I'm good at what I do and I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah.
And I got the suit for free, but I want you to know I can afford it. And I'm very likely.
I had to pay for my clothes. I was with Jerry and you. He did not offer to dress me. My man did not go. And you were like, hey, what would Aaron look good? And I was like, don't do it. We might at least.
No, because it's just this limited, this mindset that we all have to be less and less and less and less. That's what I actually want to have a conversation about. Like, what is wrong with you that you think everyone has to be smaller and smaller and smaller? And I'm going to go ahead and make my statement. I will not be small for you just because it makes you feel better about the small life you've chosen. And to me, I don't have time to criticize anyone. I've not spent one moment in my life thinking Elon Musk is too rich. Or Elon Musk has too many opportunities, too many options. I'm like, I love the fact that Elon Musk is so insane and so brilliant and so talented and so courageous that he's created Tesla and SpaceX and trying to buy Twitter and everything. I want more of that in the world. And I don't want him to be limited by my limitations.
So I have a question. He released a statement saying he doesn't own any houses anymore. And then he lives in like one of those box trailers dropped off at SpaceX's headquarters and outside of Austin.
His ex-wives live in some houses though.
His ex-wives live, and he owned like 7 houses in Brentwood at one point. The guy, he got the money.
Yeah.
But he says he lives at his friend's house. Homie, you better be paying some rent. My man is like worth $100 billion and he stays with friends.
Is that noble? Why didn't he buy his friend's house?
But he's like, I don't have any houses, but I do have a plane because it saves me time. And I'm like, buy a house.
He has a rocket ship.
I want to establish this now. I want to be, we were talking about this with goals with one of our other friends, Dan. And we're talking about the art of communication. We're talking about these projects we're building. And he's like, what are some goals? And I was like, I want to be so wealthy I can buy pastors' houses and that they own outright, but that I can pay for and gift to them so they can live in major cities. Like, why do you guys have to commute in? I want to be so opulent, not in the expression of the money, but in my generosity with the money. Yeah. But I have to say it to do it. Like, if I just have this secret thing where I'm like, well, I'm afraid to talk about money, or afraid to talk about the clothes I have, or afraid to talk about the car I drive. But honestly, like, I wish I could cuss in this podcast sometimes, because sometimes I'm more expressive in my intense, like, vulgar language. Like, I don't care what you think. It hurts me. Like, it affects me. But ultimately, when I wake up and I shower off, you're not what I'm praying about. Because I pray naked in the shower. That's what I do. I do. I really do. I'm in the shower and before I get out of the shower every day, I try to take 30 seconds where I just stand there and I breathe and I pray and I like think about what I'm going to accomplish in the day or manifest in my life. My dad hates that word. But what I'm going to get done. And oftentimes I'm like, okay, it's not about being rich for the sake of being rich for me. I want to be wealthy, to be generous, but also to never have to be in that ecosystem of blue collar, like self-destruction. Because it didn't feel like these people are talking about socks being too expensive, or he sells this, or they're gonna look at our masterclass. He sells it for $3,200. Yeah. Guess what? We ain't stopping because of you. At some point, we may not be the people, you might not be the person at Mosaic, but we're going to still exist and we're still going to sell things. We're still going to build life. And you know what? If you want to be great, attach yourself. Go and buy the art of communication. Learn from him. Like, go and study Jerry Lorenzo's clothes. I was in his warehouse touching every piece of fabric, taking notes on my phone. He said 3 fabrics I'd never heard of. I was on Google afterwards going, who makes this? How do I get this? How do I do this? Like, be an absolute sponge and be obsessive. But these people, like, I had a girl today, a woman, these aren't even girls, these are women saying, I hope when you go before God that you can answer to atone for like your behavior. And I DM'd her and I said, we don't worship the same God. And and I've been thinking about this a lot because I was having this conversation with my friend Ayla, and she's a Muslim, and she's like she's in Ramadan right now. She's fasting, and her description and her relationship to God resonates more to me than that woman and her description of God and how she's judging me. And I have been struggling with that. It doesn't mean I'm a Muslim, but I do believe in the way that she practices more than I do believe in the way that this woman practices. And so
in what way?
She's kind. She's intelligent. She's DMing me going, dude, congrats. That's so freaking cool. Are you kidding me? Like, your dad's so sick. I want to go to Mosaic. And this woman, I promise you, like, you could not pay enough money to sit in this building. I would never want you here. Like, I don't want that to exist inside of my environment. And you know what?
You mean the judgmentalism?
The judgmentalism.
Yeah.
And I said, I was like, I am not going to succumb to your limited mindset. Like, and it's not that they're unintelligent. It's that they literally have not been unlocked.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the Matrix. Like, it's crazy to me. I'm like, it's like someone needs to pull the cord and get you out of Orange County or whatever like suburb you were just self-destructing inside of.
Well, it's odd because how can you believe in Jesus and not believe in grace? And some of you going, but I hope that you are held accountable for everything you did. Going, what you're actually saying then is that you do not believe in the power of the cross, in the sacrifice of Jesus and his resurrection, because none of us deserve the grace and mercy and compassion and love of God. That's the whole point.
If I get to heaven and I see you there, I'm going to go the other way. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to ask if there's a third spot. Could you send me back, Lord? I want to do something. Send me back.
Because then you become her.
No.
Yes.
I'm happy if she's in heaven. I don't want her to not get in. I just don't want to go to the same place as you.
Meet me at our spot.
Meet me at a spot.
All right.
Third spot. I have a question. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go. It's fine.
Go ahead, Brooke.
No, it was an impassioned transition. I don't want to mess you up.
No, it's fine. That statement makes you feel uncomfortable, but I don't know if I want to be in heaven with all these.
That's because you grew up with so many judgmental, condemning.
I grew up with Christians we knew trying to kill us, showing up I remember getting phone calls when I was in college from Mariah being like, there are men at my door trying to get in. I'm here. Mom went out to the grocery store. Can you please drive back right now? Like, I remember me standing in the hallway with a baseball bat and you had a samurai sword because it was what was on the walls. And 5 men were getting out of a white van in the middle of the night and they were trying to get into our house because they were connected to the death threats. They were trying to terrify us. Like, I remember those nights. People don't talk about those nights, but I have never been persecuted by a Muslim. I have never been persecuted by a Scientologist or by a Jewish person or by an atheist. Maybe an atheist. But I said a Muslim. That was the first one. But I have been persecuted by Christians. And it's so interesting. Like, if you don't want me on the team, I'm not on your team. But I have a different team. And we don't worship the same God. I'm fairly confident about that.
Yeah, when we have these conversations attacking each other publicly, we actually diminish Jesus more. And my ultimate desire is for us to have conversations where a person without God would listen to us when we disagree and go, wow, there's something special about these people. They can disagree and still be incredibly respectful and loving and honoring of each other. It doesn't elevate you when you tear somebody down. It doesn't make you more when you make someone less. And I know that, we're in the middle of all this stuff with even, the storylines with Hillsong and, it's like.
But it's interesting because that got brought up in the comments. People like, well, if you Google them, they were on Hillsong Channel and they had a show and then they just changed the name to Bad Already, but Bad Already existed first. It's been around for 5 years.
It's because people are always looking for some way to attack. And I'm like, look, even then, you don't want to diminish the wonder of who Jesus is and what he's done for us. And you don't want to assume every person trying to pastor or do ministry is bad. You have to believe that there are good people out there trying to do good things in the world and not want to prove everyone is dark and jaded and hypocritical. And by the way, if you actually believe that, it can only be because you are. And all the research shows that people who are trustworthy believe there are trustworthy people in the world. And people who are untrustworthy are convinced there are no trustworthy people in the world. And so what you're saying about people you don't know says more about you than the people you don't know, because you don't know me. And I
always find it interesting how personal it gets.
I know,
because it isn't like, because I guess initially it was celebrity pastor, you know, here's my thesis in 2 posts, two screenshots or something, but it went to us personally and who we're connected to and the kind of socks and like and the price points and like my socks are Hanes right now, like, but I got some socks from Japan coming that are 10x like the cost, and I'm not ashamed of that. Like I think the fact that we get so personal is bad. I could have handled the situation better. I gave her what she asked for. And I initiated a conversation that I think is fair. You post something about my dad. We have a podcast about these very things. She knew what she was doing. To attach like the Hillsong thing and there's their connection and like they must be another mega church and they must be all the things. Like, what does it matter? Like, you want to come for, there's going to be good and bad if you look everywhere.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that not a single pastor in this world died on the cross for you.
No.
And so it's like, I am not worthy of your worship, and nor have I asked for it.
Yeah.
And so we got to stop confusing pastors with Jesus. We got to stop acting like anyone can meet the ultimate standard of who Jesus is. We all fall short of that. And, and even given like maybe the way I worded my post wasn't the wisest or wasn't the best or communicate things that could be misunderstood, even there, we've got to start learning how to give each other the benefit of the doubt and look at the overarching narrative of a person's life. My wife, your mom, is in Tijuana right now working to get.
She is?
Yes.
Shit. I thought she's at the house.
No, she's in Mexico because she's trying to help facilitate Ukrainian refugees who have escaped the war, who are trapped on the other side of the border to get in the United States. In a week, she's leaving and flying to Moldova, going into Ukraine, because we've been working for the last few months to help people who are trapped in Ukraine, especially with orphans and families without their husbands, to get to safety. No one's going to post about that.
No, and the funny thing is that like your post got less comments than her post. And I posted initially in the morning about like, hey, go give my dad some love. Like, he bore this amazing thing, whatever. And people did. But people like to watch the car crash, the train wreck, the disaster, the whirlwind, more than they like to praise people.
Yeah. And I don't like watching the train wreck.
No, and that's where I've got to stop being a part of the train wreck. I see the train wreck happen and I like drive into the train wreck.
You got to get out of your choo-choo.
Get out of my train.
Yeah, because you're driving that train right to the wreck. And I look, I'm just going to, this is the way I'm going to respond.
Okay. You respond, then I respond.
I'm going to live my best life. Take it or leave it. I'm going to get up every day. I'm going to love life. I'm going to enjoy it fully. And if I have a friend named Jerry Lorenzo who says you can wear a suit, I'm wearing the suit. And if I want to say thank you, I'm going to say thank you. And if I have a friend, Todd Abrams, who owns a company called Icon Foods and
Icon Meals,
and I'm loving the food, and I want him to be successful. Yes, I want to be clear. I want Jerry Lorenzo to be super, super successful. More, I want him to blow it out. I want him to surpass Louis Vuitton. I want Todd Abrams to have a company that goes into the billions, right? Because these people are the people I want to have great wealth so they can actually do great good. And if I have influence and I can help these people be successful, I'm going to do it. And that's not why I posted that post. But now that you're saying I did, I'm just going to go ahead and go, it's not a bad idea to help good people do good things. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
It is the thing that holds us back, I think, is like the Christian faith. Like, I would almost never call myself a Christian. I call myself a follower of Jesus. Yeah. and then at times like a bad one. But like my friends who are Jewish, they're like, we don't understand like he's like, they'll be like, we complain about everything, but we don't complain about this idea of making money. Like, why wouldn't you want to make money? Like, you want to make more money so you can help more people and build more Jewish people's wealth. Like they're like, they understand the idea of generational wealth and legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Christians have this like pariah mentality where we're so parasitic that if we have become the tall poppy thing.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, I'm not one of you. We are not the same. We're different. We're not even the same species. We don't worship the same God. And I'm not a leader in your mega church vibe. I can't do anything about the fact that I'm born as your son and that I like you. And that even if I didn't believe in God, I'd still come to Mosaic because I like the people at Mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them. And I have no interest in being all their friends. But I like the people I like and I'm unashamed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to come for me for something? Good Lord.
Brooke, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah. Well, I just had a quick question for you, like to follow up on what you guys are sharing. Why do you think someone feels it's their responsibility to air a grievance against something they think someone else is doing wrong? And to second that, do you think it's anyone's responsibility to put someone on blast or something they think they did wrong?
I think Elon Musk should have bought Twitter. Because I think Elon Musk believes in free speech.
And what, you're saying the liberals that are on the board don't?
I think the liberals on the board do not believe in free speech. They believe in controlled speech. And Brooke, this is a answer to your question, and which I now forgot completely.
The question was, Brooke?
Is it anyone's responsibility to air someone out for something they think they did wrong? And why do people think it's their responsibility?
Just asking, was that post wrong and those kinds of posts wrong?
Yeah, what I would say is that if you are actually trying to make the world better, you make the world better relationally, not flamboyantly. That when you're posting things to the whole world, you're just trying to make yourself look better. And if
like holier than thou aspect.
Yeah, I mean, she really cared, right? If this was genuinely like a deep concern, she could have sent me a private DM going,
for sure. She doesn't care about you.
No, she doesn't care about me. And but the thing is that you need to be careful critiquing people you don't care about, because your motivation may actually be to be more destructive than constructive. And so I try not to criticize other people.
Can I tell you why she did it?
Well, what do you think she did it?
I'm telling you what I think. She did. She did it for the numbers. She did it for the numbers. Like 100%. She did it for the numbers. She posted it for the numbers. She said what she said for the numbers, and she knows that there is a Hillsong conversation, and I guarantee you, her and her friend, I wouldn't even be surprised if they colluded on this, pre or post, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're the next ones. We got Hillsong. Let's go get Mosaic, and they did it for the numbers. It is why you do that. You don't post on Instagram to create a. You don't post that post on Instagram to create a healthy conversation.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Someone asked me, Brooke, do you think the problem is a mega church celebrity culture? And I said, no, there are pastors of small churches that also have affairs, and pastors of small churches that also make ethical choices that are destructive.
Right.
They're just not newsworthy.
Right.
And I guess, if we end up in the New York Times, I guess we suddenly become we become newsworthy. No one writes news that isn't newsworthy. And I'll give you an example. Every day on CNN right now, I'm seeing Ukraine, but there are wars and conflicts and global crises all over the world that no one's reporting on.
Yeah, they don't care.
And that maybe even are more significant. The massacres by the Chinese of the Muslim minorities in
Africa,
in China and Africa. Yeah, and
literally shipping people over.
Yeah, there are some horrific things happening, but they are not advantageous from a news perspective. And the way I look at it, like they've been writing stories. People have been writing stories about Mosaic for years and years, decades, and somehow the stories always end up pretty positive. And many of the journalists who have come as atheists have actually come to faith, and because of the conversations, or have come to respect faith because of it.
Right.
And you come to Mosaic, it's sort of an unimpressive mega church story because mega churches own tens of millions of dollars worth of property. We own no property at all. So you come to Mosaic going, how's this a mega church? We don't own a single piece of land anywhere. And you're looking at the mega church, you're usually looking at churches where super rich suburban people are giving tons of money. And Kim and I and our family have been the dominant financial contributors and givers to Mosaic to make Mosaic possible. So it's the other way around. It's not.
And if it wasn't for your friends now that live all over the world that contribute to it, it wouldn't exist.
And
Stop. It wouldn't exist. Like
Yeah.
when I came back, it was to actually like help build the brand of Mosaic because your brand was so strong, no one knew about Mosaic. And you put it in your books, you put it on your back sleeves, you put it in. You talk about Mosaic like a swooning boyfriend over a girlfriend. Like you loved Mosaic. You loved Mosaic. You loved Mosaic. No one cared about Mosaic. Genuinely, no one cared. And when I came back 8 years ago, people enjoyed it in LA. People loved it locally. But no one, like, for the most part, knew what it was.
Yeah.
And so, but even then, like 8 years later now, right? Like, I'm working on business stuff with you. I'm doing this podcast with you. I still sit in because it's a gift. You're my family. I'm going to sit in forever. You can cancel me for whatever you want. I have done all the things you probably say. I'm not giving up on being a part of the church, part of our church. I don't go to other churches because I don't like them. It's not even that I don't dislike them. I talk to like a shorthand of 5 people at other churches in the world. And anyone who wants to pick my brain, sure, I'll give you like however much time you want. But like in reality, like this is the only place I'll ever feel safe. It's the only place I'll ever feel protected or feel like we'll have a dialogue for my life. When they attack going like you're a leader at Mosaic and that, how dare they like even be associated with you. I'm like, man, if you only knew what hot trash I was as a human and that like, it was never about the reputation of me or the reputation of the church. It was always about like just rehabilitating me as a human. And how many times you've done that for even people. Like I love it when people attack you that I'm like every piece of furniture in their apartment has been paid for by my mom. that person literally has my couch. Like that person has clothes from me. They wear clothes in their posts talking trash about me, but their clothes were provided by us. And it's not about glorifying that. It's about like the irony of people who do not like you just will not like you.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be everywhere. And I don't dislike, like my sister called me and was like, yo, this person's sitting at the coffee shop you always go to, just FYI. And I was like, whatever, that's fine. Like like I'm not gonna fight him.
Yeah.
The person who said death to you, like maybe I'll take my shirt off on site, shirt off. But like, other than that, like at the end of the day, like I don't care. Like if Mosaic stopped and we moved on, I would still be friends with a lot of these people and I would just live a joyful life without criticism.
Yeah.
But if you do anything great in life, like we said it because we were, you were like, maybe I should take it down or maybe we should have. Did you ever think about taking it down?
No, because I felt it would have been disrespectful to the person that I actually cared about the most in that post, and that was Jerry Lorenzo.
100%.
Because why should I be ashamed to wear something that someone put so much of their heart and soul into that they're using as a declaration of their faith?
That man's a
of
genius.
The eternal.
That man is a genius, and and he dressed a genius.
Yeah. And it's almost as
you can't agree with me on that one just because I'm saying a genius dressed a genius.
Yeah. And
then you were talking about a genius. Like they don't even understand the spiritual, physical, transcendent, eternal, metaphoric nature. It was like this thing was like a dream within a dream within a dream of how this was connected.
So we're going to release this talk this week.
Yeah.
And because I think it's one of the most important messages I've given about Jesus in a long time.
Yeah. And if I end up on the New York Times,
well, at least
pick my good side.
No, I don't want you to be on New York Times because I actually know how much you've had to fight for your own emotional health as a human being.
Yeah. I mean,
because of the intense pressure of being in the light of the life that I've chosen to live has made your life and Mariah's life so much more difficult, and Kim's life too.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there were moments where drinking and doing drugs and isolating, and whether it was women or whether it was whatever I prescribed myself for at that moment was momentary euphoric escape
You're
from,
sedating yourself
from the criticism, and
Yeah.
whatever. Like maybe I can't handle it, and so I funnel it into really like poor ways. I think I'm getting stronger. I don't self-prescribe as often, but I have to be hyper aware that I have an addictive nature, and that like everything from the tattoos to anything I do in life comes with, to even the way I built the church. It was not a healthy way. It was an obsessive compulsive way, a tyrannical way. It was like I've learned a lot. Now I've got these two beautiful kids, Luke and Ethan, who did all of the art direction for the entire thing, and I'm like, I'm in awe. And it's like God does reward the effort, even when I'm like, hey, like someday I would tell them, hey, someday they might cancel me, and I probably did all the things, and but you're still going to be here, and you're going to be creating beautiful things without me. And what did they expect, and what do they want, and what are the outcome do they want? If they want me to go, they can have me.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that I actually do believe that overwhelmingly you get from the world what you give to the world, and so I choose not to return hate for hate. I choose not to choose violence for violence or destruction for destruction. I'm even like the people who send me all these texts like, death to you and hope you die and hope you burn in hell. The amazing thing about who Jesus is that he is still fighting for you. We may want to fight with you.
I definitely do.
But Jesus is fighting for you. And the insane thing for me is that I am choosing this life so that you have a chance to know how much Jesus loves you. It would be so much easier for me to choose a different life. But I'm choosing this life because of the very people who are trapped in this kind of darkness. Because you think it's your weapon, but it's not your prison. And you don't even know you need to be free.
They think it's their weapon, but it's actually their prison.
Yeah.
Can you say that one more time?
You think it's your weapon, but it's actually your prison. And what you desperately need is to be set free. And on that note, I want to put this chapter behind us and move forward to a great year.
I'm putting away the Batman mask for a little bit. Wow, we did a long one.
Yeah, it's an intense conversation, and I love the fact that we just dive into these issues and talk about them, and 'cause I think the conversations help other people actually find a way through in their own lives. Because if you're trying to do anything meaningful, you're going to get criticized.
For sure.
You
want to, like, we can list them out. My past, our art of communication price point, the price point of our socks, of our clothes, the fact that you are a model in our McManus Gallery stuff, the fact that we're working on a new project that will be probably more expensive, but also more luxurious. And now we're better at making clothes, and we're going to make more garments and more luxury items.
Yeah.
And we're also going to use our voice to build other artists,
Yeah. And as I've told people who are struggling with the next level in their life, even though they've achieved so much, is that every time you elevate, you leave people behind. And so whenever you choose to elevate your life in any way, you're always going to have criticism. You're always going to have critique, as the people who once supported you will now actually oppose you. Because when you elevate and other people choose not to, it becomes an indictment on their own choices. And so if you're going to live your life without a ceiling that's self-imposed, you need to realize you cannot live your life for the approval of others. You genuinely have to live your life based on the calling that God has placed on you, and let God decide your ceiling, not someone who decides that what you're doing doesn't meet their standards.
So goodbye.
All right.
That was me saying goodbye to people we're elevating beyond. Okay, thank you guys for listening. I hope this is exactly the opposite of what you were expecting to hear today. And I hope that you hang in there with us as we have these conversations and when I have good and bad moments. I'm really grateful for the positive support. I'm really grateful for the critique. I don't like the critique all the time, but I'm really grateful for the people who kind of hang in there and stick with it. Thanks for you guys in the booth, Brooke and Austin. I know the last couple of days were probably a little bit frustrating. Having your names attached to this can't always be fun, but it is entertaining. If you're listening to this podcast, thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. If you haven't had the chance to check out the Easter message my dad gave called Eternal, it will be linked in this episode. You can check it out on the Mosaic YouTube or on the Mosaic podcast or Earl McManus podcast. And also rate and review this podcast. That means a lot. Help us boost those numbers and have those conversations we're going to be really obvious. I want to grow this thing. I want this thing to get to 100,000 listeners every episode. So you're a part of that first installment. I'm saying this out loud. Let's spread the word. Let's engage in conversation. Let's have healthy discourse and some unhealthy discourse. And let's talk about it all. All right. Talk to you guys next week on Battle Ready.
All right. Have a good week.
Bye.